Yeah, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Another Zod back at you, shooting from the hip. But anyways, I just wanted to get into a few things. I'm hopefully gonna keep this video not as long, but I fear it might go a little longer. But I didn't expect you guys to watch it all. But before I even do that shot, I'm gonna give shouts out to the music guys, and then some of the homies. But anyway, shouts out to El Conejo with Mr. Shadow. Check out that track. I'm gonna drop the link to King Squad TV. The Boricuas and Mexicanos and the blacks pushing that East and West. Trying to bring it together and fuck all that division. Then you got Oscar Gomez on FB. I'm gonna drop his shit. It's all in Spanish, so go check him out if you're into that. To Taj, Northside Long Beats. I'm gonna drop his shit again. Into Dove Sinister. To all the homies from Dago, y'all sabes. But shouts out to the homie from South Central Street Villains, homie from Escondido, to the homie from Paramount, Dog Patch, and Eastside Paramount. To Santa Monica 70th Street Pee Wees, to Bryan Street, Northridge City, to Tehama County, to Chi-Town, to Compton Barrio Pobre, and all of us from Compton, to Wabash, Indiana's, my bad. If I slayed that, hit me up again. To 96 Edible, get your eat on. To Gosabi, Wasabi, and Villa Hidalgo, Jalisco. If I slayed your name, Spencer, but my writing just I think I just rushed that. I got to go back through the comments, But anyways, I seen something today that was kind of, I laugh because it's been a lot of this hatemonger shit on the internet. It's just that shit with Vlad. A lot of people seen them interviews with Vlad and seen that they could really push that line. Everybody's pushing a hard line now, you know what I'm saying? And so they're saying what they say. Some are biting into, racial rhetoric, It's just shit that people shouldn't bite on, they're biting on. This one, I'm just saying, to King Earner, I respect this channel. Dude had a platform, and for the most part, his whole thing is snatching the honor of people, But on this one video, I had to snatch his honor, Because he basically put all Mexicanos that are, basically they're snitches, And he used 6ix9ine to justify that. 6ix9ine is Puerto Rican and Mexicano, but he's from the East Coast. He don't got shit to do with the West. He ain't a real blood. But, you got cats like that their message starts out one way and then it gets distorted in order to gain these views. Me, I try to cover all types of topics because I don't want to be stale and what's a one-trick pony. You know what I'm saying? So when I watch these channels and I I drop my comments, out of respect, but then I seen this one and basically he said that basically all Mexicanos are snitches, and that we back that, back the fact that this dude might be a snitch, allegedly, you know what I'm saying? And because I guess he got on there and said something along the lines yeah, they were, that is snitching, you know what I'm saying? If you say somebody is out to get your mom, you know what I mean? That's that shit. If it's that serious, then you just handle your business. You don't put that out there on the internet. So that is snitching. But to try to lump him into the same category as Mexicanos is kind of that's like saying all the black dudes have snitch, that it's a black thing, that black dudes all snitch. You know what I'm saying? There's so much hypocrisy on the internet. It's funny. And yeah, I cover it because a lot of people want to know about it. They want to know what this comment meant. And I can't say it enough that, guys like this, you really shouldn't worry about. This guy is on the East Coast or wherever the fuck he's at. It's more than apparent he got racial views and there's some type of animosity amongst, But that's a whole nother thing. I'm just saying, he said that, and it's just wow, I can understand a lot of these older heads that should have a head on their shoulder and try to really bridge these gaps because they have a mouthpiece tend to eat their own shit. It's you spit positivity, but you're taking it all back in and spitting venom out. You know what I mean? And I can't respect shit like that because most of these cats, when they do run into Mexicanos in the street, they're not pushing that same lines. You know what I mean? Or it's the same when you got a Mexicano that may not really be about it, may not be spitting the same shit that he spit if he's talking hateful to somebody in real life. Vice versa. You know what I mean? But this dude really being somebody that had been to the pen should know best not to try to drop that type of category. But like I said, dude is on the East Coast. He's not on the West. Over here, say some shit like that, knocked down instantly, straight out. And that's not to push any violence. That's just, for the people, it's I had a conversation with an elder, you know what I mean? And this is, and I consider him an elder because dude is wise. He's been around, you know what I mean? And not as far as prison, but worldly, you know what I mean? And his idea on how things should go for blacks, I can see. You know what I mean? And his same concerns is some of the same concerns that I share. You know what I mean? And some of the things that I have to think about and be like, damn, this is true. And for the most part, if you're a black male and you grew up in LA or you grew up anywhere, people can say what they want about me. I'm always gonna suffer some sort of plight, because at the end of the day, it don't matter what I run with or whatever, or who my loyalties are to. I'm still black, gonna always be seen as black. So when a cop pulled me over, if he's on that trip, then he's just gonna see black. He don't give a fuck how I sound, what kind of Spanish I can speak. He's always gonna see a black dude. 1% rule. If you got 1% black in your blood, you are black. I don't know for the ones that don't really understand that concept, but that's exactly how it is. You know what I'm saying? If your dad is black, you're black. My dad is black. So with that being said, it's true. It's like I can't say like this. The elder didn't respect everything that I'm about, because like I said, dude is like, I won't say pro-black, but he's about his people, he's about Africa, he's about that. And me being somebody that's black and running with Mexicanos, he was just kind of confused. But, even though it's a respecting, there's some things about he couldn't understand. And I accepted that, but I'm still there to get that knowledge from this cat as an elder. And, but he shot me a video, and basically the video was just, a depiction of exactly how blacks interact with each other. And it's so fucking on point. You know what I'm saying? Another dude sent me a video, and pretty much the same thing. You had a group of black dudes walking in. It was just like a whole circle of black dudes walking in and out of by each other and bumping each other for no reason, mad dogging for no reason, always looking for an issue. And being a black male, whether I'm from a Mexican gang or not, I still had that same angst, that same need to want to push that line, that same need to be that motherfucker. And I see it amongst a lot of blacks, amongst most black, especially males. It's that need to push that agenda when you don't even have to. I sat in the mall like a couple of days ago and just really sat back to observe everything, and I seen it. You seen black dudes walk by each other, mad dogging the fuck, like they could kill each other with those eyes. Not that long ago, a fight broke out in the mall. In the movie theaters, fights are breaking out all the time by all blacks. They're the only ones fighting each other, only ones killing each other. So I see it, and that's why I say like there's so much division and discrimination amongst each other. It's like, you're light-skinned and black, I don't like you. You see it in the posts all the time. People make comments and they try to pass it off as joking, basically, you know what I mean? As satire, but it's not. It's like, oh yeah, dark blacks are not in no more. It's time for the light skinned fools to move up. And people take that as a joke, but there's people that really feel some type of way about it. And then you got the dark ones that be like, oh, this dude is a half breed. You ain't black because you ain't dark enough to be what they consider black. You ain't black. You know what I mean? And you see that. And I did something like this in a past video. And that's why I say that as far as like bridging gaps might be a lot harder, because there's so much division amongst our people as far as like blacks. Like I said, no matter who I run with, I'm still black. We just got two different constitutions on things. But as far as being a black male, it's too much division. And until we can, or I just say, I take myself out the equation because I'm sure people are already going to take me out the equation. But as a black male, the only way you're going to bridge certain gaps, unless you're already on that path to bridge gaps, is to bridge gaps with one another. Like if you come on the comment and you're talking about, why, certain people don't run with blacks and, and the fact that, trading up and this and that, and, Mexicans hate blacks, but you got to look at it. Blacks hate blacks too. And that's more than evident. You know what I'm saying? It's not only amongst males, it's amongst women too. The ones that are more conscious minded and just more pro-black, they're the ones that's more accepting of another black, whether it's light skinned, whether this black is mixed with this or this black's mixed with that. But for the most part, the ones that are not conscious and the ones that are really like low key hate mongers, but try to push off a different, they try to give off a different vibe than what it actually is. It's like, okay, no, I'm for everybody, but yet you'll mention something about a bean and all this, and they're not giving us like taco stands and all that shit. Like I see right through your comments, and I just understand that you just ain't ready. until you can bridge the gaps amongst your own people, you can never bridge the gap to interact with another people. You will always have some type of divisional thinking in your brain. Right now, you got cats that outside. I just finish off with that. Outside of the angst and that need to want to propel yourself into the spotlight, always want to fight on camera and do all this wild shit and just disrespect your mom, disrespect your people, elders that been around for years, you disrespectful to them because they don't fit your agenda. That's what I'm saying. When it comes to division, there's no way you can bridge a gap with another race if you can't bridge the gap within yourself. You know what I mean? If you can't stop discriminating amongst your own people, you'll never be able to stop discriminating on another people. Some people say, oh, well, Mexicans look at us this way. Well, if you come into the store and you're acting wild, which, and this is not everybody, but there's some, elements amongst you that do that shit. Come in the store all loud, wild, fucking tearing shit up, fighting. And, of course, you're going to make people scared. If you see a paisita or a paisano and they've never really interacted with blacks and you come in all crazy, they don't know how to take it. All they see is a big black dude and they don't know how to take it. You're aggressive, in which most blacks are like really aggressive. We just like that, you know what I mean? And that's one of the traits of being black. There's an underlying aggression right there. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you see it in sports, you see it in everything. You know what I mean? It's that need. It's that instant fight. If we don't, and let me just get past that, you know what I mean? Because a lot of blacks that, they know that there's a division. They know that there's a constant angst. Like I said, it might be psychological. It might be due to the fact that Pops wasn't in the home. Some people are just have it in their DNA to be really aggressive, and it's just the way it is. You know what I mean? My whole thing is like this. If you want to bridge a gap, you got to bridge the gap with your people first. For the ones that are already conscious-minded and willing to reach across the aisle, it's kudos to you because you've progressed to a point to where you no longer see race. And if you notice, a lot of Hispanics will embrace you once you embrace their culture. But if you're just going to it blind and say, I refuse to accept anything that you have, any way of doing things the way you do things, if I can't accept that fact, like, oh, what your fucking music, or of course nobody is going to want to embrace you because you're discriminating against them due to the fact that they listen to a different type of music. And I'm just going to close that out with saying this because I got something else to talk about in this video. But for people to come on here and be like, that Mexicans should pay homage to blacks for rap, I'm just going to say like this. You can try to lock the lane down all you want. You can try to block every fucking bridge to Terabithia. You're never going to stop it. Eventually, one or two is going to break through. They try to block it with Eminem. Now people use that, oh, well, Eminem pays homage to blacks. Yeah, he does in his own way, but he'll tell you that certain people got him started and that's why he got into the game. You know what I mean? A lot of East Coast artists that did that and influenced his style of rapping and influenced everything, made him really want to do that. But as far as like, if it wasn't for Dre letting him in the first place, there would have been no blacks in him. They don't want no whites. Ever since Vanilla Ice, they don't want no whites. Third base, all that shit. They didn't want no whites. You know what I'm saying? But one forced itself in the game and probably one of the best rappers, if not the best rapper now, a white guy. You know what I'm saying? So, what I'm just trying to say is like this. Gaps will have to be bridged, eventually. You don't want to let Mexicanos or Puerto Ricans or Dominicans in the game. You constantly trying to separate them. Eventually, they're going to get in. And then they're going to be in a position like Cardi B in. Nicki Minaj wanted to be on her shit. You know what I mean? It's like, it's shit like that. Like, you got to think about it. You either help motherfuckers get in, or when motherfuckers come in and they create this lane so big that you can no longer stop it. Because if like people say, once one Mexicano gets in, even more get in. So they're starting to get the spit. They're starting to be able to get these metaphors. They're starting to be able to elevate their game, and that's through evolution. And it will continue like that. So the smart blacks that are really with it, they know by bringing them into the game, it only increases their spotlight, and they also help somebody else. So they seem progressive. Be the pioneer. Be progressive. If you see a Mexicano or a Puerto Rican or something that got major spit, pull them up under your wings. take him into the game and blow him up. That makes you look better. That will make you look better amongst some of your own race and amongst Hispanics. And be like, dude, this dude let him in. Be that motherfucker. Don't be the one to try to bogart the gate. You know what I mean? Because it will not end well. Eventually, motherfuckers will get in, and then the same plug that you might need in order to get your foot even higher, they're gonna slam the door on you. It's not saying that Latinos will rule, the rap game or hip hop, but it is possible for them to take a major chunk out of it. People are starting to pay attention. Just because motherfuckers ain't getting money is big in the United States don't mean they can't get it overseas, and everybody knows that's where the money is at. That's where they booking these shows. Try to shut the bitch ass 6ix9ine down, and what he do? He went overseas, came back with a major buzz, and then everybody wanted to sign him. You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Just be one of those dudes. And before I end the thing like with that, I just want to say, you know what I mean? This is no slight towards anybody that's black. This is not slights, because I would be slighting my own people, moms, sisters, whatever. This is just like, look, man, at the end of the day, if you're trying to get to a certain place, you got to just get there. Oh, I also want to talk about this whole attitude with fucking, you owe me this, you owe me that. You got to get over that. I notice in most cases, and this is coming from other blacks, you know what I'm saying, besides myself, is that need to like, oh, if I don't agree with what you're saying, instead of just, talking about it on some conversational shit, you want to fight. Anything that we don't agree with personally, we want to go above and beyond to try to get in an altercation. We feel disrespected. So that's sensitive. Like we became one of those people that were just really strong to being ultra sensitive. It kind of reminds me of political parties. It's like, you got the Republicans. They've always been about guns, not letting the government take over, all the shit, like to really watch to make sure the government doesn't try to slide in and, do their dictatorial shit. There's other things that goes with the political party of the Republicans. You really have to just do your research, but you pretty much know their goals. The Dems are kind of like, you know what I mean? But, a lot of them, and I'm not talking about the liberals, I'm talking about the far left, the ones that need to cry about every last thing that goes on in this country, the ones that just can't get into a simple conversation. And it's like I said, not the liberals, but the far left that can't have a simple conversation with you without causing major disruptions, or they gotta, you know what I'm saying? Your shit has already been hijacked. It's like BLM started out with one message. What happened? Blacks don't no longer run the BLM. You know what I'm saying? You let the left take that over and just turned into something that became a joke. You know what I'm saying? So, do your research, think about half the shit that goes on in this world, and just understand that there's a bigger thing outside of just black and Mexicans, black and white. You got millions and millions of whites that are literally out there pushing to help you do something and be something, the ones that's really open these areas in order for you to get a job. But instead of just accepting it, there's always something more, like, oh, I'm not getting this, or I'm not getting that, you know what I mean? Or, fuck that, I wanna be the face of this, you know what I'm saying? Get the fuck behind me. And it's true, like it should, in certain cases should take backseat. But if somebody's really trying to help you, you can't slight all whites. I can't say that every white on the street is racist or every white is a skinhead. Understand, like you're entitled to your opinion, but that just makes us look weak. Now we need to cry about every last thing that goes on, because we don't agree with it. We felt slighted by there's shit that really goes down. Okay, it's like right now, if you really want to get into it, go talk about that shit in Libya. You know what I mean? The shit in Libya is some shit I'm talking about where they just, burning blacks alive. Get into that. Like, if you really want to push that agenda, back that up. Go into that. Like, really, really delve into the shit on how to help your people and try to, push your U.S. government in order to intervene in some of this. All this being sensitive about, certain subjects, when in a lot of cases, now it's like we're more discriminative towards our people than anybody. And that's just a fact. You don't believe me? Go on the internet, Google that shit. Look at some of your political leaders, some that have no connection to political parties. Just read their shit. You know what I'm saying? Read their shit, really delve into it. Sit down, talk to yourself, an elder. If you're a black Israelite, talk to your elders. Get into it. You know what I mean? But, just stop discriminating. If you're gonna discriminate, just understand that at some point you gotta stop this discriminating amongst your own before you can even get to the point to stop discriminating on another race. And I know this video was long, so like I said, I don't expect you to watch it all, but just me speaking my mind. I'm your boy Zod. You enjoy the rest of your day, and I'm out.